Welcome to my channel. Please enjoy the video.
What is going on, my teasers? I am back with another video. I have been doing some major research and I've uncovered some very dark things, and I like to share it with you guys. And rumor has it that Michael Jordan was sponsored by the Illuminati. The majority of black celebrities are Illuminati members as well as politicians. For years, the circumstances surrounding the death of James Jordan, the father of the NBA legend Michael Jordan, has been shrouded in mystery. And in doing my investigation with more research, guys, I uncover, and I swear I did not know that Michael Jordan's daddy was an actual Chester. And there had been very disturbing allegations coming from Michael Jordan's sister and her relationship with her father. See, according to Delores E. Jordan, she stated, "Please understand that sexual molestation, brutality violates a child's mind, destroying all traces of innocence. And more often than not, it takes with their security and self-worth, while imprisoning them in a painful role of silence and guilt." Delores E. Jordan, Michael Jordan's eldest sister, said when she finally found the courage to let her father's deeds tumble from her lips, she says that she didn't know what to expect, but she never in a million years would have guessed that her own mother would actually turn on her. Her words of betrayal did far more damage to me than my father's deeds. They spoke volumes to the fact that she really did not care about me, which my father obviously knew. It's because she was so expressive with her dislikes for me that probably made my father know that he could get away with violating me. It turned out to be true when he told me that if I ever told my mother, it would be that she would not believe me and that the whole family would grow to hate me. Well, my father actually confessed his actions on that same day that I disclosed them to my mother. And on that frightful day of admission, I watched for my mother, looking for any sign that she even cared about me. I watched as she stood in my bedroom, citing their decision to send me away. Once again, I became the little girl who always was looking for a signal of affection and approval from my mother. But once again, there was none. Memory of my father whispering in my ear during the wee hours of the night about the beauty of my body has played over and over in my head for many, many years. Delores E. Jordan also added that has been incapacitating enough by itself to comprehend the fact that more often that her father had just gotten out of the bed that he shared with her mother to find his way into her bedroom, and it added to the realization of the painful situation. Delores E. Jordan added that the whole situation came to injure her own mother's womanhood to such a point that she came to think of her as her adversary, with striking out at her, the other woman, every chance she could get, no matter what, where they were or what the occasion. And this information came from the source itself. If you guys can look online, she did write a book, and it is called In My Family's Shadow. And this is by Delores E. Jordan. And I would like to add, T-Sippers, at the time that this situation actually occurred, Michael Jordan himself was only 4 years old. However, I would like to give my opinion on the odd occurrences surrounding his father's death. And here is what you may have not known about this case. Michael Jordan's dad was unidentified as a John Doe in a swamp in South Carolina. He was cremated quickly before he was even identified. In August of 1993, a fisherman found a body draped over a tree limb in the South Carolina swamp with a gunshot wound to the chest. With the body being so badly decomposed and no missing person report matched the description of the dead man, an autopsy was performed. The jaws and hands were preserved for later identification, and the man's body was cremated several days later. And this is where I saw nothing but red flags. Why was the body cremated several days later when the body was never identified by family members? Michael Jordan's car was found stripped and vandalized in the woods near Fayette, North Carolina. And this was just 2 days after that unidentified body was found in South Carolina. A stripped and vandalized Lexus sports car turned up in the woods more than 60 miles away from North Carolina. Then this is when these revelations actually shocked the world. According to the registration of the car, it was actually purchased by Michael Jordan in Chicago. And the dead man in South Carolina is later then identified as his father, James R. Jordan, Michael Jordan's dad. And as you guys can clearly see, there was no proper death investigation done. Later thereafter, James Jordan's body was identified using personal dental records plus his fingerprints. The coroner kept Mr. Jordan's jaws and hands for later identification as he was cremated. T-zippers, isn't a family member supposed to identify their loved one's body, get the body, take it to the morgue, and actually have them cremated if that's what they decide they want to do, and then have their personal services? I never heard of a coroner actually taking it upon himself to actually 2 days after finding the body to cremate a victim. And not only that, the coroner was the person who actually did the autopsy on the body. And as that coroner did that autopsy, he was fully aware that Mr. Jordan suffered a gunshot wound to his chest. See, James Jordan himself had very extensive dental work done, and dental records were used to confirm his identity. Additionally, the fingerprint on the right thumb matched the right thumb of Mr. Jordan, whose fingerprints were already on file with authorities. And this is why I'm going to assume that Michael Jordan did sacrifice his father. And this is allegedly, but it's also my opinion. When it comes to these celebrities in Hollywood and the death of their loved ones, you should clearly know where there is smoke, there is definitely some fire. And you guys may be wondering why I say this. See, James Jordan wasn't even reported missing by his family until 3 weeks after he disappeared. And when the Jordan family could not get in touch with James R. Jordan Sr., Michael Jordan's security team supposedly started their own investigation instead of contacting authorities to report him missing. And see, thereafter, it wasn't until weeks later after Michael Jordan's car was found vandalized and stripped in the woods near Fayette, North Carolina, that the Jordan family actually filed a missing persons report. Now remember, the Jordan family did not even report him missing until 3 weeks after he disappeared. They did not quickly go to authorities because it was reported that Michael Jordan's security team started their own investigation before actually once again contacting authorities and making a missing persons report. Now remember guys what I stated in the first part of this video about the coroner actually taking it upon himself to quickly cremate Mr. Jordan's body. Remember, the coroner actually kept Mr. Jordan's jaws in his hands for later identification. Then he quickly once again cremated him. T-zippers, Mr. Jordan himself did have a criminal record for his involvement in a kickback scheme. And however, there were conspiracy theories that surrounded the case about organized crime and gambling, but those things were never proven to be the factors in his murder. Another red flag that stuck out to me about the murder and the death of James Jordan. James Jordan was murdered in Robeson County, North Carolina, the county with the highest violent crime rate in the state, with a history of systematic racism and law enforcement corruption. And at that time, Michael Jordan was at the prime in his career in basketball. Everyone knew who his father and his mother was. They were at his games. They were on videos and also had pictures. So his father, James Jordan, was well known across the whole nation at that time. Another red flag that stuck out to me, T-zippers, see, at the time when James Jordan was murdered and after the murder scene was actually recovered and properly investigated, Michael Jordan's NBA ring was allegedly found buried in a yard. So in my humble opinion, when he was actually murdered, the people who were sent to do the dirty deed knew exactly who he was. They were stating that he actually just parked along the side of the highway to take a nap. I don't believe this is what happened. See, his ring was not taken by the perpetrators, actually stolen or pawned or sold on the street. They actually had the nerve to bury this ring in a yard. The investigation got one of its big breaks from an unlikely source. It was actually the suspect, Daniel Andre Green himself. Daniel pointed investigators to a patch of dirt in his great-grandmother's house. Investigators stated that they dug up a ring, Michael Jordan's NBA ring. And see, it was also reported after James Jordan's murder, the suspect supposedly wore James Jordan's jewelry in a rap music video. In a rap music video? Suggesting that this is all connected to Hollywood. And once again, it's just my opinion. However, T-zippers, there were supposedly other damning pieces to the puzzle that actually emerged during the investigation. A gun hidden in a shop vac in the house where Daniel Green was living, and a rap music video starring Daniel wearing James Jordan watch and the NBA ring. At Daniel Green's murder trial, Michael Jordan's brother Larry identified those jewelries as gifts from Michael to his father. T-zippers, can you now see the red flags? This whole thing is absurd. And I know you guys want to know what I'm talking about. Remember what I just stated. At Daniel Green's murder trial, Michael Jordan's brother, Larry, identified those jewelries as gifts from Michael to his father, not Michael identifying those gifts as from him to his father. However, during the trial, the jury never heard the music video because the judge thought it might prejudice them. Still photos from that video were shown in court and it was leaked to the media. Another jaw-dropping piece of information that I uncovered by doing investigation about this topic, guys, the gun presented at Daniel Green's trial was not even proven to be the gun that was used to kill Michael Jordan's dad. Also, there was no conclusive evidence of blood that was even found in James Jordan's car. Evidence of a bullet hole in Mr. Jordan's shirt wasn't observed during the autopsy, but was presented years later at the trial. And if this information doesn't raise red flags, I don't know what else to tell you guys, because Mr. Jordan's body was found draped over a tree limb in a gum swamp near the North Carolina-South Carolina border, about a mile from Crestline Mobile Homes. And I am going to say this with caution. He had been in the water for nearly 2 weeks. And remember, T-Sippers, the Jordan family never even reported this man missing until after 3 weeks. And in my humble opinion, guys, the Jordan family knew exactly what had happened to James Jordan, and they were simply buying time. Because I may add, they didn't clearly report him missing to authorities. Michael Jordan actually took it upon himself to have his personal security team to conduct an investigation. Remember, the coroner was the one who actually concluded that he died from a single gunshot wound to the right chest. The autopsy report stated that the coroner searched thoroughly for a corresponding bullet hole in the shirt, but it was not one there. And another one of these odd circumstances surrounding the murder of James Jordan. One of the first calls were made from his car phone, and it was made to a man named Hubert Larry. And information has surfaced. Actually, Hubert Larry was a convicted drug dealer, and he was also the biological son of Robeson County Sheriff Hubert Stone, who actually investigated the Jordan murder. The jury never heard about that. And it was stated that Michael Jordan and his father were very close. Jordan shared a deep relationship with his father, and he simply called him Pops. Michael Jordan in the past has often talked about the contribution of his father. According to Jordan, he achieved so much success because his father, James Jordan, kept him grounded. My question is that you don't hear from your father in 3 days, let alone 3 weeks, and you never went to authorities to report him missing? T-Sippers, this strikes me as very, very odd. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your opinions down in the comment section. Please keep it respectful. If not, you will be blocked permanently. And here is more information that I thought you guys would like to know. In 1987, Michael Jordan became a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity in Wilmington, North Carolina. His initiation took place only 1 month after he had one of the most prolific scoring seasons in NBA history. Well, T-Sippers, I'm going to end this video on this note. Please let me know what you guys think about this situation. Please like the video, comment, share, and subscribe. Share my videos on your social media platforms, and I will catch you guys on the next video.
The whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized, like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
I just never thought I would be a member of an organization where you have to bury your kid.